Hi, welcome to Inavate TV. I'm joined today by Jamie and Andrew from AMX. Welcome, gents.
Hey, thank you.
So AMX must be one of the most recognisable names in the AV world. It's been around for 40 years, which is an incredible achievement. What does that achievement mean to AMX?
Well, I mean, I kind of think it means that the proof is in the pudding, right? I mean, there's really a couple of ways to look at it. From a product perspective, I think it's pretty clear to say that technology manufacturers don't hang out a real long time. They don't exist a real long time without really delivering performance. AMX specifically, we've been known for performance, security. To be around for 40 years, it means we've been solving real problems, and kind of pushing the curve, market wise. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, marketplace always been the front runner on a number of products, a number of lines that have continued over the years. So it's been a big evolution, and 40 years is a long time in the AV industry. But it also is 40 years ago, the AV industry was very different to what it is today. So a company that can evolve to keep up with today's technologies and move throughout the years is very important. And I think that's what is a real steadfast of what AMX stands for.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably the biggest message I would take from it. In 40 years, we're not in the insurance industry. We're probably not that much has changed in 40 years. Technology moves forward. It has to. So actually what you were doing 40 years ago could be actually radically different from what you're doing now. And the fact that you're still doing it, still a big name, still a recognizable name, still a trusted name, I think must speak volumes to the staff, but also the innovation, the products that you brought forward.
What's so funny about that, we talk about this all the time internally, is the technology in the industry has evolved so much. Technology is so much different today than it was 40 years ago. And at the same exact time, the contrast to that is the business of systems integration really has not changed from a perspective of what people are doing today is still trying to synthesize experiences. We're still in the business of trying to connect the physical environment to the technology, to the human behavior, and really synthesizing those things together into one common, repeatable, predictable, productive communication experience. 40 years of doing that. So it's this neat contrast of everything's changing and nothing's changing. And so it kind of plays into the roadmap. And what do you do when technology is changing so much, but the business and the need to synthesize experiences stays the same, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about the 40-year history, and that's kind of, I guess we call that the past. What does the future hold for MX? What is coming down the line from you guys?
Well, if you don't mind, I think there's one other ingredient, and I just, not to belabor the point, but I think being around for 40 years, you've got this product perspective, you got a market perspective, but you also have the fact that the people of a company doesn't exist without good people. A company doesn't exist without people with a deep passion for what you're trying to solve for and what you're trying to bring together. And I got to say, it's in our DNA that we've always been a company of very passionate individuals. And I think that being in our DNA, it's what we continue to do. It's how we continue to magnetize people to the brand to come solve for this market. So a little bit of people, product, and market in there. But to that point, though, what does that passion lead towards, and what is the, what's kind of in the future? There's really two answers to that. It's really two elements, really, which is there's AMX specifically, a brand inside Harman Professional, what's in the future for these AMX branded products. And there's also, how does that relate to Harman Professional in general? And, speaking on the AMX side of it, I really think from an AMX branded product, it's really about looking at that need to synthesize experiences, try to do more with the technology in an easier way. So it is a little bit of a retooling, a replatforming of the brand to bring in this new common capability and empower people to accomplish more, leverage their talents, leverage their tool sets, leverage their technologies of choice, right? And being a little bit elusive, because obviously we've got a lot of products planned for this 40-year anniversary, but it really is, it's a replatforming of the whole platform. Harman in general, I mean,
it's a big thing, but also it's about keeping with our core principles. and really working on those and elevating that. So, you know, when you have a product portfolio, is how do you make that portfolio bigger and better and more in depth? And that's the direction we're going in general. I think for this year, for next year, and what, like you say, what we've got coming out really complements each other.
It's so funny. It's not even like complementing just from an application perspective. It's really complementing externally and internally. You know, a converged technology, a converged IP stack, a converged common application layer for people to have a more streamlined work interface across the pro brand. So at every level of that story, there's this simplification, it's a convergence, it's making things work together even better.
Is it possible some of those things you hinted at for the 40th anniversary could be on the stand at IC 2023 in Barcelona, maybe?
Yeah, why don't you come on out to Barcelona and check us out at the booth? Yeah, this isn't a one moment in time where businesses just drastically become different businesses. You know, technology doesn't turn overnight. This is a long-term play, you know, a long-term investment, a long-term strategy for everything to come together. And you will constantly see innovations coming from us in this convergence path. So do come out and see us in Barcelona, and you will see some interesting things.
Brilliant. Jamie, Andrew, many thanks for your time. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Good talking.
And many thanks for joining us for this latest video. Check out the website for plenty more videos. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.